Hi everyone, it's Linda from Linda's Ease in Arlington Heights and Deborah, my daughter.
Deborah? What?
Debbie.
Yes, that's right. Okay.
All right, so we're going to start by telling you about a couple of really wonderful things that we're going to really get into a project today, and we've done it all in steps for you, so I hope that will really help you. But before we do that, we always have that recipe, and since we are in the Easter week, the spring week, we have what? Brioche.
Brioche, right.
So it's called the Easter babka.
Babka, the traditional Easter
I think
brioche.
It's Polish, but French and all kinds of different European names. So wait till you see this recipe. It was translated, I believe, both in French and in English. I don't know, is the Polish there too, Caroline?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right, so enjoy the recipe. You've got a couple of days and I think it'll be fun for you to do. But before we get into that, I want to show this beautiful quilt. I love it. It's called the Festival of Lights, and it's just fun and cheery. I mean, isn't it fun? And Debbie, you can probably tell them a little bit about it.
This is made from Moda fabrics, and it's very intricate piecing, but look how beautiful those stars are. So beautiful.
They're beautiful, yeah. Easy to do. It's not a hard quilt. Something everybody could do. And look at the really fun part in the back. We used a lighter
Almost like
colored
French.
thread.
It's the French look.
Yeah.
So we're doing both French recipes and French quilts today.
And of course we have our label on here, which is really cool.
Very nice.
And again, it is a really French thing. So now we're going to get right into the project and we're going to show you how we start. Okay. So this is the second step, the second sewing step, with doing the outline stitch around the embroidery batting for the egg. And the reason that it did these, I'll explain that in another a moment, but I had actually moved the eggs, and so it's kind of cool that it did the stitching in the exact order of when I moved the eggs. I could easily have put a couple more in here, but I think this was really a cool thing to show you 5 of them, and that way, and you can see on the screen there, the way that we're doing the outline. See, we're doing the outline right here. Now you can see what we have done is we have taken and we've trimmed off the embroidery batting around next to the edge, and now we're putting a piece of fabric, the really pretty color of the egg, and again, they're all different colors, so it will do the outline stitch, and then it's going to do the embroidery. So this is just doing the outline stitch around the batting. Isn't that cool? It's actually going to do 2 rows of stitching because it gives a little bit extra protection for it when we turn this. We'll be putting a backing on here, and you'll see that as we go along. So this is actually the 3rd step. Now you can see it as we go. Now you may be asking, why did it go the blue, the green, this kind of a chartreuse, and then back to the pink? Because I actually did this stitching on the machine. Oh, you can see I caught my thread there. I actually did this stitching on the machine in order, and then I moved it. Now that little didn't quite have enough there. I don't know if that's going to matter or not. We'll see what happens. If not, I can do another egg. So now you see it's going to the 5th one. Because when I placed these on my screen, I did the blue, the green, and then I did this chartreuse. And I didn't like it up here, so I moved it down here. And this machine is so smart that it knows what order that I put these eggs in. So that's why it's stitching it in order. This one, the green, the pink, and then this kind of turquoise color afterwards. Very, very smart machine. So you really have to watch where you do your placement. 4th step is I'm taking a real big, large roll of the water-soluble topper. It's really nice to have this when you're doing a big hoop like this. And you see I'm just going to cut that right off. And what I'm going to do, you don't even have to lick this or, well, hold it down. You can just kind of hold it as you're going. And now I'm going to go ahead and press my button. And this is the topper that is going to be on here for all of the embroidery. It just will pop the designs, and then I'll rip it off and I'll spray it afterwards. I'll get rid of that little thread there. And you can see that this is moving around a little bit. So if it moves around too much, then you want to take a little bit of water in each corner so it won't move. But I'm going to start it again, and you can see it's just perfect because it's really popping the design, and it's keeping on top of the fabric where it should be. Cool. Now we have finished doing each individual embroidered egg. So now what we'll do, because each one was done in the order, which was wonderful, of the color. So if you can notice on here, there was blue here, and this color, and here was a little bit up here. It did the entire piece of wherever that color was, and then it would go back to the next egg and the next egg. So now it's all finished. We're going to take it off of the hoop, and now we're going to...
Off of the machine.
I mean, off of the machine.
Just keeping it in the hoop.
Keeping it in the hoop,
Yes,
thank you.
very important
I hope you caught
differentiation.
that. Yes, you
Yes.
do not want to pop this out of the hoop now after all this work, because on the bottom of the hoop, we are going to finish it, and we're going to put the little pocket on it. Now this is the placement stitch for the pocket, for one of the pockets, and you can see it's going right on the tearaway. Kind of cool. And now I'm going to take this fabric and bring it right up a 1/4 inch above, right above the little, where the seam was. And we're going to stitch it again. And once this is done, I'm going to put some batting. You can see this batting here. I'm going to find a nice little straight edge. Okay, it cuts the thread. It brings it up for me to easily put it up here. So now I'm going to take it right. Let me get this edge. I think this is a little straighter. I've used all the scraps.
Cutting? I don't do straight, Mom. Didn't you know that?
Well, I'm using all of the scraps, which is nice. If you remember, I put this whole big piece of batting on this, the big hoop. This is a smaller hoop, obviously, that I'm using now, and I didn't waste any of it. That's what's really cool about it. So now it's going to have the batting inside the little pocket, so it makes it a little puffy. See how smart this machine is?
So smart. Okay, now we're going to fold it up to create the pocket.
And see, it cuts the thread for you, so you don't have to do any of that. And you don't want to pull it up too far, because you know, if I pulled it way up, it would pucker it.
That's
And I'm
correct.
just making it nice and smooth. I'm gonna touch
Stitch it
that
down.
again.
Tack it down one more time.
And we use all kinds of different colors, Easter colors or spring colors that would be really fun for this time of year, flowered colors.
And then
Okay,
you do it just one more time, and it stitches the decorative stitch across the top of the pocket. One more green light.
but what's great is it does cut your threads every single time. That little back and forth stitch.
Green stitch.
Yeah.
Okay, then this is the fun part, you guys. We're going to pull it out of the hoop, pull it out, and tear that tearaway.
Oh, that machine's so cute. Do you see
That's a
that
tip.
little smiley face
Oh,
on
show the
there?
smiley face.
Yeah.
Finished.
Okay.
Yay.
Now, we just take this and pull it right out of
In
the hoop.
fact, that's one of our tips of the day. You don't have to take it out because it gives it more pressure. more resistance, so it trims really well.
And then you
there
can
you go.
get your seam ripper or whatever you want to, although this is pretty,
Easy to pull
yeah,
out.
it's pretty easy. And then you're going to take all of that stabilizer out of there.
Okay.
We finished some of the project, especially the front. You see how beautiful it is. And what we're going to do, you can see this tape on my fingers. This is that
let's see
wonderful
the tape.
Floriani.
Yes.
You're really going to use this perfection tape.
Perfection tape.
And
I'd
I'm
like to
going
show
to
you
turn it over.
how pretty these are. So
They're
pretty.
gorgeous. Yeah, they really did turn out nice.
Beautiful.
And we're
eggs.
going to turn it over. You can see it's still in the hoop. And now what Debbie did is she helped with this a lot, and she chose, we're going to take the same color of the front of the egg and put it over the back. And then we're going to tape that on, just like this. We'll tape it all on 4 sides, because this is actually going to be the back. These are the pockets that we put together. Debbie is what I love your colors.
So the backings are taped on the back right now, right?
Yep.
And now we're going to tape the pockets on the front.
Ooh,
So
they're
we
gonna go
just
right over.
showed them right. So they're going to be covered up here in a moment, and then we're going to go to stitch down the last steps, the last 2 steps of the eggs as soon as we're done taping.
We'll show
We'll be
you.
back. You want to show first taping, or we'll show them after we
yeah,
tape?
we'll show it after, but I
Okay.
want to make sure you know that the right sides are going to be down on the right side.
Right sides are down and overlapped ever so slightly before we tape them. Thank you.
Here we are back at the machine, and we have done 1 egg, and I want to show you one now while it's actually sewing. I love to use this little by Annie stiletto. It's really, it's stylish. It's really a great way of holding the tape. You see when it comes by there? So you make sure that there's no problem going over the tape. Now once it's gone over the first time, you don't have to worry about that. See how easily that's going over it?
That's what we do for all of the
All
eggs.
of them. Yep, well, here we are back with the hoops all finished. The eggs are completely done. If you turn it over, you can see the backing, the little stitching along the backing too. And now what we're going to do is take the tape off, and we're going to go ahead and turn it inside out and show you exactly how the project will look.
Great.
Okay, the great reveal. We're almost done. Before we finish, I've already done the other eggs. You want to take your little spritzer, just like I did here, put it on your towel, and you can see that that glue is actually coming off. And then I take this, isn't it cute, the little birds? And I take them over to the press, and you always know what side we go down on my Wear a Star. Lots of steam. And then I turn it back to this side, and you've got some really, really cute little eggs.
So cute.
And now, where are the jelly beans? We don't have any, but I do have some chocolates that we can
but you know
put in
what?
there.
I think
and they're
that-
actually healthy ones, see?
Oh,
So you
check
could
it
put in
out.
there, I think they're,
Very good.
so there you go. You've got your little candies in there that you can
And
put in
I
for
think that the Easter
Easter
Bunny
Sunday.
also came for both you
What?
and for me.
Where did this come from?
Came from, I think, your French grandson,
Oh my.
who is going to be uploading these videos all night.
Nick.
And he wanted to give us...
Nicola, thank you very much. This is a surprise, guys. I honestly did not know
So I think we
that
might be
there
able
were going to
to...
be chocolates in this for. Oh, can I take them? Oh, it
called
really is
À la
French.
folie.
Oh, macaroons, my
Oh.
favorite. Oh my goodness, how wonderful.
Pretty.
Okay, guys, little embroidery. The top from yesterday was Odette and Ivy.
Oh yeah, we forgot to
And
talk about that, didn't
I
we?
know, but it's all done in a serger. Okay, I
Awesome.
think we got a lot done.
Have a very nice
Thanks, everyone.
evening, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
soon.